What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to another WNBA video. We only have one game on the slate for Monday, June 9th, but we'll break down and analyze that game. We'll talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points on the spread, and we're also going to go over any player props in that game that I found that I'm liking. And then any plays that I put in officially myself, make sure you check down there into the pinned comment. You're going to find a link down there that'll send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. That's where all of my final plays are going to live for free. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Guy Boston Sports website now. We'll take a look at what we took on Saturday and how that ended up going down. And I gotta say, we've definitely had better days, man. Go 2-6. It was a rough Saturday, man. We took Kayla Thornton under 1.5 3-pointers. She had shot, I think, 14% from deep heading into this game. Has the best game of the season. I'm pretty sure she knocked down 4 in this one. We took the Sky. We took that 3 different ways, split a unit up on that one. Plus 7.5, plus 5.5. It took them on the money line as well. They get smoked. So obviously we don't cash on any of those plays there. Took Ariel Atkins over 1.5 3-pointers made because she was quite the opposite of Kayla Thornton heading into this one. She had been red hot, and she goes ice cold, man. She doesn't hit a single three in this game. She finishes with just 4 points in that beatdown. Then we took Angel Reese over 11.5 rebounds. She finishes with 12, so we just get over that mark. Same thing with Satu Sabali here, over 10.5 rebounds and assists. She finishes at 11, so we do cash on those two just barely, man. Then we took the Storm and the Mercury alternate total under 160.5, and they do land up and over that mark. So like I said, a 2-6 day. Man, we had some momentum rolling into Saturday. Had gone 8-2 on the 3 days with games during the week heading up into Saturday. Right, 8-2 run. Had stacked up to about 1.36 units, and then we just give it all back. So kind of starting at ground zero once again with the units here in the early goings of the WNBA season, but we are sitting above 500 still with our overall record, 46-43, so we can hang our hat on that and take that little bit of positivity and roll it into this video, guys. And let's get back on to the right side of things, man. Let's stack up some units today here in this video. Only the one game, so we're gonna not gonna force anything and try to force our hand here and get it all back in one day. But we can find some value here. Let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's get into the mix, man. We have the Golden State Valkyries taking on the Los Angeles Sparks. Sparks are 5.5-point favorites. Total sitting at 161.5. Only one game on the slate, but we have to wait till 10 p.m. for this one. 10 p.m. tip-off with it tipping off there on the West Coast. It's going to be the third head-to-head matchup in store for us here between these two. They've split the first two so far this series with the away team winning each of those games. The Sparks are 3-6 straight up, 4-5 to the number. They're coming into this one off of a 14-point victory on the road over the Wings. They're going to have a one-day rest advantage here over the Valkyries as well. Golden State is coming in off of a huge win themselves, a 28-point beatdown over the Aces at home this last Sunday, or this last Saturday, excuse me. They are 3-5 straight up, 5-3 to the number. The Valkyries, man, they were impressive in that one, and honestly, they have exceeded expectations so far early into the season. They shot 48% from the field over the Aces, 36% from deep. They dished out 24 assists to just 12 turnovers. But more impressive is how they've been defensively this season. They held Vegas to just 35% from the field, 24% from deep. They have struggled offensively throughout the year, right? Sitting at just 12th for offensive rating. But if we look at them in their last 3 games specifically, they are up to 5th in that regard. Defensively, they're sitting at 5th in their last 3 as well. But they've been pretty well here throughout the year, like I said, man, 6th overall. Sparks are sitting at 4th offensively, 8th defensively in their last 3, and are putting up the 3rd most points per game in that span, with the Valkyries right behind them at 5th in that time frame as well. I think these two are more evenly matched, though, than what we've seen in their first 2 meetings. Both of those games ended with, I think, the Sparks won by 17, I want to say, in double digits, and then I think the Valkyries pulled their victory off by 9. But like I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a closer game here. But end of the day, I would lean with the home team and look at the Sparks here as far as the side is concerned. I'm not sure I get, anywhere laying points with LA though, with as inconsistent as they've been, to start off play this season, but I would be leaning that way nonetheless. I think I like the total here though more than anything in this game, man. It's sitting down at 161.5, and I get it. I get being cautious with the Valkyries offense. I literally just talked about it in the last game with the Valkyries, right? And then they put up 95 on the Aces. And then in that regard, we could definitely see some regression and a letdown from them, after that big win over Vegas. But can't get behind the Sparks defense, man, end of the day, or ignore the pace that these two are looking to play with. We've seen the Valkyries, they've played at the fourth fastest pace this season. The Sparks are, in their last 3 games have been pushing the tempo more as well. They're sitting all the way up at third in pace in that time span. Both these teams are also sitting in the top 5 for their offensive rating, like we said, in their last 3 games. So they're both looking to put up a ton of shots from the outside as well, man. Golden State is putting up the most shots from the outside per game in the W and hitting the 5th most from beyond the arc. That's for the course of the year. LA is sitting at 6 for 3-point attempts and makes. So I'll look to an over here. I think we see an up-tempo game, a back and forth affair in a tighter game, like I said, that kind of sees us get just up and over this number. Golden State has gotten up and over this number in their last 2 outings. The Sparks have in 5 straight now, 7 of their last 8. I do think we could take a safer approach here, and look at the first half over. The Valkyries have shown a tendency to kind of lose gas in the second half. The Sparks have led the league in points per game scored in the fourth quarter, but they have slow third quarters themselves as well. So a play on the first half over may be the best look here. I think we see the Sparks are coming in averaging around 41 points per game in the first half, and the Valkyries sitting around 40. So that puts us at about 81. So just kind of depending on what that total comes out at for the first half, that might be the better look. And the player prop we could look at in this one would be Kelsey Plum, her 3-pointers over 2.5. It's sitting at -130 on FanDuel right now and Bet365. Um, Scroll on down here in her last 5, you can see she's only hitting at a 40% rate, right? 2 of her last 5. Those last 3 games specifically, she's gone underneath this mark. But if we push it back throughout the course of the season, we can see that she's actually hitting at a 56% rate, 5 of her last 9. Let's scroll on down here and look at her 3-pointers, right? She's shooting 37% on the season. These last 3 games, she has definitely, been in a little bit of a slump, 14%, 20%, 25%. So this is kind of a play, banking on her for some positive regression, right? Seeing her break out of this slump here against the Valkyries defense that has been good, right? But they have struggled against the 3. They are sitting at 12th in terms of 3-pointers allowed per game to the opposition. So I do think that this is possibly a good look to check out as well. We can see, in the 2 games that she's played so far, she did clear that mark in that first game. That was the season opener where she exploded for 37 points. And then this last game against the Valkyries in the Sparks loss, she still gets 2 made threes, so just landing right up underneath that number. And like I said, shot horribly, right? Only 20% in that game, 2 out of 10. So the attempts are going to be there for Kelsey, and on the season shooting at 37%. So I like her chances, like I said, to kind of break out of that slump here. I think this is worth keeping an eye on. With just one game on the slate, that will wrap us up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you found the content helpful and useful, please do not forget to smash that like button on your way out and hit subscribe if you have not already. That way you don't miss out on anything that we drop here daily on the Guy Boston Sports channel. That's going to do it, man. Hope you all have a great night. Hope you all cash out. I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.